thought today we could talk about how to eat intuitively, because I know so many people talk about it and mention it, and it sounds like a good idea, but the question becomes, well, where do I start? How do I do this? So I thought it would be beneficial for me to teach you my way of intuitive eating and give you some guidance and a plan that you can follow. If you are new here, I am Khrystle Ray, and I am a health and fitness coach and a Reiki master. I've competed in a bodybuilding competition, and I have been on a lifelong journey experimenting with my food and improving my health and overcoming various viruses and all these things. So I love this topic. I am so passionate about it because one of the things I do notice as well is that when we change the food that we're eating, our emotions become different, how we physically feel becomes different, and it really is life-changing. And food for me has been the most instrumental on my journey. And it wasn't until I really started listening to my body and eating in a way that felt good for me that I gained all the energy that I was looking for, and that I wake up every day actually feeling good, and that I barely get sick anymore. Knock on wood. So with intuitive eating, how do you start? First, my suggestion is that you figure out what macros you should be eating. And so what are macros? Macros are your macronutrients, your proteins, your carbs, and your fats. And so with macros, you should be eating a certain amount every single day. What happens is that you need a certain amount of these, right? A certain number of calories per day just to live, for your body to function, for you to breathe, for your digestive system to work, all of those things, okay? So first we need to figure out, well, how many calories should you eat every day just to live? Now, if you exercise, we're gonna add in more calories because you're burning more calories, and we need to make up that difference. I'm gonna show you the website that I like to use to figure out what macros I'm gonna follow. So lately I have been using calculator.net. They have a macro calculator on there that I like. And so we're just going to fill this information out pertaining to myself. And you're going to do this for yourself if you decide to use this calculator. But first, I want you just to figure out what your BMR is. So this is like the base amount of calories that you need just to live and just to exist. So you're going to change the activity just to say BMR. And then the goal is to maintain weight. So then once we hit calculate, we know that for me to live, I need to be eating 12,060 calories a day. Okay, so these are my goals from a hi, I am living perspective. Now, if I hit back, I'm going to refill this out because I didn't save it. And I'm going to have my moderate exercise be 4 to 5 times a week. And then my goal is a mild weight gain. That's what I would like to focus on. Of course, here you can choose whatever it is that works for you, whether it be weight loss, weight gain, maintain, etc. So I'm going to put mild weight gain. And then you're going to see when I hit calculate, it changes. My total calories become 2,000. My protein amount becomes way different. And it's telling me that this is what I had entered in. And so what's happening is that with moderate exercise 4 to 5 times a week, I also have to make up that calorie intake, right? Because I'm burning more calories. And to gain weight, I have to eat more, okay? So this is just a starting point. Now, I understand myself, and I know that for me to eat this amount of food every day is not necessarily realistic. So I may come up with something that's a little bit different than this. If I was to switch this just to go back to maintain, I'd be down to 1846. So for me, like, this is a little bit more realistic, but understanding that I'm not going to be following this to a T forever, right? It's just for me to learn and have an understanding as to what the calorie amount is going to feel like. And so what we're going to do after this is we're going to go over to my Fitness Pal. And I'm going to use these macros because I do really like these macros. And so my Fitness Pal is an app. And so we're going to just open it up. You can enter in like what your starting weight is, what your current weight is, what your goal weight is, what your weekly goal is. And Then it goes to nutrition goals. And so you can customize this. And so for me, my nutrition goals, if you can see here, the calories are 1846. I have 1850. And then I kick it out to a percentage. So what I can do is what they're recommending here is that I have 246 grams of carbs, 113 grams of protein, and 52 grams of fat. So what I could do here is I could just change this to get closer to what it is that they are recommending. And it's like, because with the free version, you're just kind of limited to the ballpark of using a percentage. So if I make it 115% of protein and bring my fats back down, that'll bring me back to 100%. And then my carbs are at 231. But I know that like I can kind of finesse this. So I have what I'm going to use in here. And then what'll happen is that as I'm going through my day, I will enter in food. When you hit the plus sign in the upper right-hand corner, you can hit scan barcode. And so if you're eating any foods that have a barcode on it, you can scan it that way and add it. You can also re-enter foods that you happen to have had previously. So I decided to treat myself this morning, and I had Van's gluten-free vegan blueberry waffles. And so I see it here. It tells me gluten-free waffles. When I click on this, these are the macros for 2 waffles. Well, my serving is I had 1.5. So I'm going to enter 1.5 because I had 3 waffles. And the number of serving 1 accounted for 2 waffles, so I add in the 0.5 to make it be 3. So now my breakfast in itself was 58.5 carbs, 10.5 grams of fat, and 3 grams of protein. With this app, it'll show me how many calories I have left remaining for today. And I want you guys to see, it shows me like a pie chart. So you can look at it in a pie chart as to what you had. You can look at the nutrients and see what your numbers are. And then you can also look at the macros. And so this is kind of my favorite view, is this macro view, because it helps me understand how far I am towards my total goal. And so for like a week, basically, I challenge you to use a scale. And with the scale, you're going to weigh out your food, and you're going to hit your proteins, carbs, and fats for the entire week. Reason being is that you want to learn how many calories it looks like and feels like, because we have this idea in our head, like we think, oh, this is how much I should be eating a day. It's not until you actually count and weigh it out and measure it that you have this aha moment of, oh, this is really how much food my body needs. Please do not get fixated on the numbers, okay? These numbers are just guidance. These numbers are there to help us. These numbers are there for us to have an understanding, but they are not the end all be all. As a matter of fact, the more stressed out we get about this stuff, the more counterproductive it is towards any of our goals or towards our health, because being stressed actually brings down our immune system. Now, one of the things we're going to do is we're going to start to pay attention to our body and actually figure out what foods our body likes and doesn't like. And so how we do that is that once we eat, we gain this awareness behind ourselves, and we recognize if the food that we're eating is giving us a physical reaction. Think about indigestion, bloating, heartburn, acid reflux, rashes, different sensations in your mouth, headaches, feeling fatigued. One of the things with gluten that I find is that we get on like this emotional roller coaster, and we end up just kind of feeling all over the place. So you're going to start eating, you're going to start paying attention to what happens when you eat different foods. You may take out a food group, you may take out dairy, or you may take out gluten or soy, peanuts, or corn, like one of the 5 offenders, and you're going to start paying attention to how you feel when you don't eat those items for a few days or for a week, and then how you feel when you do have it. Of course, anything that I'm telling you today, please check with your doctor, work with your doctor, make sure that you are under the guidance of a practitioner when you're doing these things. Another way to figure this out is listening to your intuition when you look at a food or when you think of a food. So back in 2018, I got to this point where, it was actually before this, it was right after I finished my bodybuilding competition, I got to this point where I would think about chicken and I would feel nauseous. Or I would look at chicken and I would feel nauseous, and other meats as well. And so I really got to this place of, I don't think my body wants animal protein. So let me try not having it and let me see how I feel. And it became an experiment. So I want you to think and intuitively listen to those moments when you're like, oh, I don't like that. Ooh, a banana? No. That doesn't sound good. It doesn't feel good. That's your body telling you, hey, this isn't the food for me right now. And that's gonna change. Over time, it's going to change. It's going to evolve. So really start to pay attention to that piece of it. So now that we know how many calories you need to eat in order to maintain, plus however many calories we're gonna want if you are working out, and now also that we know how different foods affect you, well, now what we do is we eat the foods that work for our body. And it's pretty simple. We come up with a schedule, we decide how many times a day we want to eat. Do we want to have 3 meals and 3 snacks, or 2 snacks, or do we want to have 5 meals? What's going to feel good? Really, it's about tuning into your body and listening to what's true for you and believing what your body is showing you. And if we are looking at food as the enemy, if we are eating food when we're in a negative place, if we are mistreating our body or not taking the time to just tune in and listen to it, that's where we're gonna start to have those feelings of just not feeling good. And so by learning to eat intuitively, this is what's gonna help you feel your best. This is what's gonna help you excel and get to that next level and take your health to the next level and become absolutely amazing and amazing and amazing. And so I personally would love to know in the comments, what are some foods that your body is drawn to you? And what are some foods that you've noticed you've kind of gone in and out with? The more aware you are, the better. And the better you're going to feel. So let's just recap real quick. So this process of eating intuitively starts off with first recognizing what it feels like to have the amount of calories that your body needs every single day. Okay? We just figure that out, we experience it, and then we no longer get fixated on the number. We just understand. We now know what it looks like and feels like. Perfect. Step number 2, we start learning and listening to our body more. We start to become aware of what foods feel good, what foods when we think of make us feel nauseous, what foods our body is craving more of. And also we start to pay attention to like what we might be needing emotionally if we typically tend to go to food to help with our emotions, and we start providing that to ourselves in a different way as well. So in step 2, we're becoming extremely aware of our body, our food, our relationship to food. Then in step 3, we're creating a schedule. We're creating a schedule of what feels good for us. We're eating in a way that feels good. If we know that we don't like eating breakfast, then we're gonna start our day off later and eat later in the day. And we're removing all guilt. We're just looking at food as the blessing that it is. It is that nutrients that is filling back up your body. It is that nutrients that is helping improve your health and giving you the energy and literally turning into the blood that goes into your organs. The food we're eating is so, so important. And so I know a lot of you out there are looking to be healthier, are looking to live a healthier lifestyle. And if you ever want guidance, I am here. You can shoot me an email, you can leave me a comment, but I am here to help you on your journey and help you get to where you need to be. And that's why I do offer a 4-week personalized fitness and meal plan. If you just want a meal plan, I could just give you the meal plan, just let me know. But I'm here to help show you that eating healthy is easy, and eating in a way in which you are in tune with your body is also easy. The one thing I am gonna leave you guys with right now though, is that if all you're craving is soda, processed foods, and candy, well then we gotta start somewhere else, okay? We really wanna get to a place where we're eating natural foods, fresh vegetables, fresh proteins, healthy grains. We want to get there. And once we're there, we can then grow and develop more into this intuitive place. And when you make a change, when you start to change your diet, it doesn't take long. You start craving better foods for you quite quickly. We just got to change like the gut a little bit. We got to get some better nutrients in there and get some of those bad bugs out. So I know I threw a lot at you. There's so many different things that we can go into in this video, but I really just wanted to keep this as short and concise as I could to teach you how to eat in an intuitive manner that might make sense. Because I know a lot of people out there talk about it, but I really want to just break it down to you in a way that worked for me and that makes sense for me. So if you found this video helpful, please be sure to give it a thumbs up, hit subscribe, because I'm bringing you guys 3 videos every week, an oracle reading on Mondays, an at-home workout on Wednesdays, and a holistically healthy wild card video on Fridays. So I appreciate your time. I appreciate you being here. Thank you so much. I really, really, really do appreciate you. And I hope you have an amazing day, and I'll see you soon. Bye.